Mohammed Mokaev. Wow. So I'm just doing these on quick match so I can actually talk about how the 304 show was. Now, with the fight between Mokaev and Manel, this guy's a bit. The fight between Mokaev and Manel Kape was very, I think a lot of fans would agree, underwhelming, considering the build-up, and they even tried to fight during the walkouts. I think everyone expected a lot more out of those two, as they were acting like they were going to absolutely just swing the fences against each other. But that didn't end up being the case. Oh god. Yeah, so I feel like everyone felt a bit hard done by with that main event. They had, what was it, like 20 plus security in the cage. Then we actually get to the fight. They just dance around each other for a while. And well, I would say the decision was right. I'd say Mokaev did win. You know, he was the more active fighter. Oh, I don't know how to do that. He was the more active fighter on the feet and on the ground. I don't know how you could be more inactive than both of them were, to be honest. But I wouldn't say it was a horrible fight. It was just very, very underwhelming considering the circumstance. I'm pretty sure a lot of people were expecting Fight of the Night bonuses to go both of their ways. And then to get what we got is very disheartening at that point. And even after the fight, well, we'll first talk about what happened inside the fight. I think Mokaev was using his kicks quite well. There's not much you can really say about what the fight. He did attempt to spin in wheel kick at one point, just glanced off the top of the guard. That was like the most interesting part of the fight, to be honest. Then, oh yeah, he did take Manel down at some point, but didn't really do himself justice. He grabbed the shorts, almost pulled that man's trousers down. You saw his whole butt cheek come out, that was wonderful. ESPN had to censor that for their Instagram. And I'd say that's definitely a point. That should be a point taken, but you can't really do much now. But I'd say that's definitely should have been taken a point off. They did take the position away from him, so he lost the position, but that's definitely a point taken. Should be anyway. And after the event, well, in his post fights, he's humble. He's saying, "I'm only 23." He showed respect to Manel after the fight, told the crowd to cheer him, which was classy. But you heard Dana in the press conference post fight. Big right hand. He said he thinks the PFL are going to have a great undefeated guy soon, because Mokaev is now out of contract. So it's interesting to see what happens next. He is known to apparently have caused a lot of problems recently. More than his worth, I guess. He might be undefeated, but let me just gonna work it. So you cause problems in the UFC, you get cut. Especially if you're not an entertaining fighter. To be You know, like, if we talk about Conor, when he used to be throwing chairs at bosses, like, he's allowed to do it because he brings in money. Ultimately, at the end of the day, that's what Dana... Sorry, no. Ultimately, that's what Dana cares about, money. So, if you're not going to bring any revenue in, then Dana's got no reason at all to keep you around. So unless they can work out a deal, I guess Mokaev will be... Oh, wait, hold on. Will be out of the UFC soon. Oh, God. Yeah. There's not much else you can say about that fight. It was very... I was looking forward to it as well. The flyweight division is known for its explosiveness, and the fight is going at 100% for 15 to 25 minutes. But this one was very underwhelming. To be honest, we can just move straight on from that fight. No, there's nothing else we can really talk about that fight. Mokaev may get cut, so that might be the last time we even see him in the game. But Manel, I guess he's moved down the ranking a little bit. I'm not sure if he'll get cut, but I imagine he'll have a couple more fights left in his contract, 1 or 2, and then we'll see where we go from there. Moving on.
Ready to fight? Ready.
Well, much better to come here in the
now we go with Paddy the Baddy. I'd say, I imagine they had a game plan, and I'd say it worked perfectly, to be completely honest. You can't really get much better than other performance than that. You could tell both guys just started the fight, just figuring each other out, just seeing what the other's going to do. Bobby, of course, talking to Paddy a bit.
Massive left hand. All right, so 1 minute into the fight, we've got a double leg attempt here, and that one is true. Nice job.
Bobby's just talking to Paddy, just giving him a bit of mouth a little bit, seeing if he's going to react, get frustrated maybe, get a bit overhyped with obviously having the home crowd. This guy, I don't think this guy can wrestle at all. But yeah, Paddy just kept it cool. He was doing his thing. The low kicks were working really well. I'd say it really helped set up. He's using them to set up takedowns later in, I imagine. Or maybe even a kick to the head. Paddy did say he wanted to stand with Bobby, and he did stand with Bobby. And it was actually Bobby who ended up shooting the takedown, which was interesting. But, you know, the takedown's very telegraphed, and Paddy, someone of Paddy's ability on the ground isn't going to fall for a takedown like that. So it just went straight away, took him down. Sprawled on Bobby. I believe it was, if I'm correct, it was a guillotine at first that he got him in. I'm not sure what came after. Well, no, it was a guillotine at first, and then, I don't know why I'm saying I'm not sure, I literally watched it. He started off with a guillotine, and then he went straight into a triangle. And the triangle was deep at first, and then it got... Bobby basically... You couldn't really see it because of the angle, but there was a point where Bobby was... You could tell Bobby was, like, gone. So we need to figure out the exact moment Bobby was actually asleep. But yeah, Bobby was not having a good day. Yeah, I think eventually it went into kind of that the way his arm was bending, it was kind of like armbar style. And you could tell at that point Bobby was already asleep pretty much. So I'm not sure when he was actually gone, but he went out. I don't know why he shot on Paddy. I don't know if that was part of his game plan or not, but I think maybe because Paddy was showing that he can stand with Bobby, maybe Bobby wanted to show that he can wrestle with Paddy. And I think Paddy showing that there were different levels when it came to the grappling. The sprawl was very fast, and he locked in the submission. But yeah, Paddy's got a ranking, and I don't think anyone can discredit that now. As much as people like to, because they don't like Paddy. And it might be difficult to like Paddy, but like he's definitely earned his ranking. I'd say he's shown that he deserves to be in the top 15. And even at the end of it, he pulled out Renato Moicano, which I feel like that would be a decent fight. Both guys, of course, knowing their jiu-jitsu, both in good with jiu-jitsu. I can't believe he's let me get that. They're both good jiu-jitsu wise, and I feel like if they both get going, neither of them are the kind of fighter to back down. So I'd like to see that fight.
Got hit in the eye, and now there's a cut. But it's nothing to worry about too much now. But he's got to be very careful with it.
I think it would be a very good fight to watch. I want to see what Renato and Paddy can do. It'll most likely be a grappling. Actually, no, because we've seen it many times where two grapplers fight and it turns into a striking match and they just brawl each other. So I want to see that fight, to be honest with you. I reckon it would be a very good fight, and we'll be able to.
Nicely done.
I imagine it will be 3 rounds, of course. They're not that high rankings yet to be able to get there. Oh shit! To be able to get the 5-round fights. But I'm not going to complain. I think those two have put on a good show for us. This guy is falling for every single trick. I don't really have much else to say about that fight. See, here's the issue. I'm going to have to try and end some of these fights as early as I can, because in the event, he's going to go through straight away. Is he? Well, you're draining your own stamina, mate. Oh. No, he might have got it. Has he got it? He did. No. He didn't get it. Oh, Benoit. I'm just going to keep him here for a bit. See, this is why I have to do in quick fight, because I'm being sloppy in the grappling. If I was like focused, he would not be able to touch me. I always quit anyway. Never mind. Yeah, there's not much else you can really say about the fight. The issue with this card is a lot of fights ended early. Well, not a lot of the ones that people want to hear about. We got, well, I'll give a special mention to Molly McCann. Wasn't too bad of a fight. She did get, she took a knee to the region that we won't talk about. But yeah, she came back from it. She had some moments. Definitely. But at the end of the day, I think she did get kind of got controlled by Brazil. She did control her a bit, and she gave her a bit of a threat with the submissions. And I feel like Molly just wasn't. She lashes out a bit sometimes, and I think the Manchester crowd were hyping her up a bit too much. As in, she might have been hearing it, and it might have got to her while she was actually striking. So it caused her to lash out a bit. But she got cracked a couple of times as well, and she doesn't give up. She really doesn't give up. She took a knee to the liver. Took a liver shot with the knee, and it was it looked painful. But she kept on going, and that shot will normally shut your whole body down, but she kept on going, and she did eventually lose by decision, but she gave a decent showing for herself. She is past her 30s, so I believe she's past her 30s. I think she's like 31, 32. But yeah, I'm sure she'll come back stronger, and we'll see how that goes. And then Paddy will just keep moving up the rankings. I'd say if I was to predict Moicano against Paddy, I'm gonna go with Paddy. Paddy in this fight looked massive. Like, that was one thing we didn't highlight. He looked huge. Like, there was his in comparison to Bobby. I think Paddy looked more of like a welterweight. Like, Paddy, I'd never realized Paddy was that tall, or like, he just looked stupidly muscular for some reason, when that's not normally what you would like think about when you look at Paddy. But he looked very, very big. So fair play to him. And I think that will be it for the Paddy Bobby Green scenario. What Bobby Green does after this, I don't know, but I don't know why he changed his name from. He changed his name to King, so that's interesting. We'll see what he does next from this. Right. Now, I feel like this one was one of the more highly anticipated fights on the card. From, of course, facing Curtis Blades. I feel like everyone knew these two would come at each other. Bro, you need to relax.
Well, he misses with the left punch there.
Relax, baby. Yeah. I think they knew both guys would come at each other. They're not afraid to get in the scrap. But I think Tom is just... He's just proved that he's been running through this heavyweight division for a while now. And I think he's now... Well, if he didn't before, I think he's proved to everybody. And I think everyone knows. They just don't. They just like, it's Jon Jones, so it's the GOAT. You kind of have to give him a bit of leeway because of how many people and how many champions he's fought in his career. So you can give Jon a bit of a leeway, but I'd say he's got to fight Aspinall. Like, he doesn't really have a choice. He just has to fight Aspinall. After a performance like that as well, his last couple of performances as well, he's putting away like a couple of the more scary guys in the heavyweight division, and taking out Sergey Pavlovich to actually get the title, and now taking out Blades, who is not an easy person to put away, like in the first round as well. It's a very difficult task, but Tom did it. He did it all. Yeah, I heard some of the commentary. They just said Tom's just an average guy from Manchester. Well, not Manchester. Is he from Manchester? It's just an average guy from the UK doing extraordinary things. That's what they said, and it's true. He is doing extraordinary things. I feel like he's definitely earned the right to be called champion in the heavyweight division. I feel like you should realistically just give the belt to him, because Jon physically can't, like, he physically couldn't defend the title. So I feel like you just kind of have to just give it to Tom so he can hold it, and then Jon literally can just come back and they can fight for it. And then if Jon wins, he can retire or go to fight Alex Pereira afterwards. And even now, like well, that was done. That was quick. Even now, the possibility is that Aspinall could be the one to fight Pereira, because Jon might not come back at all. Jon might just call it a day after he fights Stipe, because they're still supposed to be going for it. So we'll see where that one goes before we discuss any further bouts. But it could just be Aspinall after that. at the top of the mountain in the heavyweight division. And if we're being honest, you don't really see many other heavyweights that can challenge him for that top spot right now. Because I don't see anyone that can take that spot off him at the moment. I think Tom Aspinall beats everyone except John Jones, but he might even beat John. But that's the thing, like with John, we all know it's John, so we all know he just finds a way. He's one of those who just finds a way, even if he's getting beaten off in rounds or if he's having a tough fight. He's so experienced and the guy is so durable. He just manages to find a way. That's just John for you. So yeah, a really short one for Mr. Aspinall, just like this fight. Good performance, I guess. There's not much I can say. Like I said with this card, like a couple fights that just didn't go as long as we expected them to. I expected Blades to be more in there for a longer period of time. We did see, of course, Blades was complaining to the ref, I believe, because he thinks that it was an early stoppage. Well, I wouldn't say it was early, but I also wouldn't say it was a full stoppage. But at the end of the day, the knockout didn't. Like it wasn't looking good for Blades. Let's be realistic. If he took like one or two more shots, he'd have been out cold. So I feel like it was a good stoppage by the ref. You can't really say much more about it. Yeah, let's fight Aspinall and Curtis Blades. I think Tom, in my eyes now, is the undisputed heavyweight champion until John does come back and they hopefully have that fight. Because I think Tom, let's be realistic, he beats Stipe. He beats Stipe very. I wouldn't say very, maybe not very easily, but I'd say easily, because Stipe's had a huge layoff. Tom's been running through the whole division, all these other young guys. So I'd give it to Tom. I really would. And then, yep, we move on to the other co-main, Belal versus Leon Rocky Edwards. Leon Rocky Edwards against Belal. Remember the name Muhammad. I think everyone expected, well, not everybody, but I'd say the majority of UFC fans expected this to be a cakewalk for Leon. I think mainly, well, there's multiple factors. I feel like Belal's very disliked because of his style. He's been called boring on many occasions. Oh, this guy gonna try grappling me. Which I'll be real, I'm a UFC fan and I'm not the biggest fan of Belal's style either. Doesn't fill me with joy. But he gets the job done clearly, and he got the job done tonight. I expected Leon to get it done with his striking. But Belal, I think because of the takedown threat, and it was quite early into the first round where he figured out he could take Leon down with ease. And I think from that, Leon was kind of just tentative in regards to throwing back, and he was allowing Belal to push him back to the cage, and it just wasn't good. It was really not good. Oh wait, one second.
Pressing here could be the beginning of the end. He's mixing up his hard hits. He's throwing kicks, he's throwing punches.
Yeah, it just wasn't. Just as soon as the first takedown happened, you knew Belal was just going to absolutely grapple the shit out of him. And you don't blame him. You might not be a fan of the style, but he got the job done, and I guess at the end of the day, Belal walked away with the undisputed welterweight championship. And that's all that matters at the end of the day. as a Jamaican myself,
Oh,
I do wish
perfect head
Leon
kick there.
kept his title, but
Oh my goodness!
Big right hand there.
you can only hope.
Whoa!
Whoa, 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 whoa! Whoa, relax.
Lot of top pressure being
Why did
applied
you
here
do
as
that
he
to
works
get
out
back
side
up?
control. All right, well, he rocked him
He's
pretty
gonna throw it
good,
again.
but didn't sort of smell blood in the water, and now his opponent's back in the fight.
I mean, blood's in the water. You got to go and get it. You got to go find your finish. You cannot let him off the hook like that. Oh,
No, there you go. Gonna get back. Yeah,
15 seconds.
I'd say you might not like Bilal's style, but
Oh, what a way to
they got
end
the job done
round.
for
He
him,
got
and
stunned by
I'd
a
say
good shot
round.
there just before you heard
I
the
think
horn. So
Bilal
we
may
get
have
saved
took
by the
4
bell.
rounds to
The
1,
question is,
being
though,
real.
what type of condition will he be in
He did
when
get
he gets
busted
up off that
open
stool?
right at
60
the end of the
seconds here to
5th
recover. The onus is on his
with
corner to keep
the
his head in the
elbows
fight.
from Leon, which
All
I
right, so
wish
let
he
us
did
now
earlier,
check out some of the action in that
and
round, DC. There was a
absolutely
whole lot
busted
of
his
it,
face
including a stunner
open wide,
upstairs that nearly
and
closed the show.
was
it was a
bleeding.
lot of
A
action. It
lot.
was back
Blood
and
was
forth
pouring
action,
out
but
from
the
that
big
cut.
moment was that big strike
So I
to the
think
head
Leon
that
may have took
landed,
the final
that put
round
him
just
on
because
wobbly legs in that
purely of
survival
Bilal,
mode.
he
Luckily,
only
he
really
made
had
it to
control
the end of
time
that
in the
round.
final round rather than doing much damage, and at the end of the day, it will be based off
Ready to fight?
damage
Ready.
Second
or
round
threat
here.
of like a real threat of
Big punch
submission.
land. Ooh.
And I feel like they both sat in
I'm not sure his opponent knows where he is.
sat
No, he
in
is on Main Street right now. He's seeing
sat with a
Pittsburgh
seat.
over the top of his head. You take a hook like that,
It's
you
called
are
the
on
seat belts.
wobbly legs.
Well, at this point, I would use the word
Seat
critical
belt.
to describe the
What
condition
am
of that eye. Not looking good,
Okay.
champ.
No, he's beat up.
The seat belt grip.
He needs to start looking to finish him because he's got his opponent hurt very bad.
Back to the feet now.
And then obviously Leon
Both fighters throwing heat now.
did manage to control in one of the rounds as well. Had a full body triangle line and was controlling
Well,
the
not sure if I should
shit
call
out
this
of him.
fight IQ, but it seems like he's sort of hanging around here. Feels
I
like
guess
the
more
finish
just
is both
showing
on the
him
table.
that
Yeah, the finish is there.
it was
And
more
he
of
needs
a
to take his
moment
time
where
to try
Leon
and
was
find him.
saying,
Don't rush.
well, you know
Be
what, I can
patient.
grapple
And
with
in
you,
that patience, you'll find a punch or
trying
kick
to
that
deter
will put you away.
Bilal from taking him down, but it didn't
Good
really
job
work
by the
too
defense to
well.
prevent that shot from getting through. Well, it's been a wild fight thus far. Perhaps
Bilal
a
wasn't really
contender for
going to
some
be
bonus money at fight.
stopped getting takedowns. He was always going to shoot for takedowns still.
Look at how tough his opponent is, though. Still standing, still in there.
But it hurts to say, it really does, but you just have to say fair play to Bilal. Yeah, always quit. At the end of the day, you just have to say fair play to him. He won the fight, he's got the belt. Silenced a lot of people. He said he would get walked over. And it's really not easy to hold someone down for that amount of time the way Bilal did. So you have to give him credit, especially someone like Leon, who you can tell is a very good grappler. He ended up in very dominant positions in this fight, as well as he's the first person to take down Kamaru Usman, I'm pretty sure. So Leon is a very good grappler. It just wasn't the most amazing performance from Leon. And he said he was tired from the first or second round, which I'm not sure what's going on with his gas tank, but you could see in his corners where he looked a bit deflated. He looked very tired. Didn't look too up for it. Just gonna have to see what he does next. I didn't really get to watch his post-fight interview, so whether he said he's going to be straight back into it and just ask for a rematch, I don't know. But I feel like a lot of people can take that title off Fahad Bilal. I feel like Leon can do it. In my eyes, Leon should have won tonight, like on paper. But Bilal just did his job. He did the job and it worked. I'd say Leon could take it off him in a rematch. they could get Kamaru Usman, ask him for a match now since Leon's not the champion anymore. That could be interesting. You could see Hamzat try and come back down to welterweight since he's asking for a title shot. You could see Shavkat Rakhmonov, who is someone who needs a title shot at some point against someone. So maybe he fights Bilal or he fights Leon for a title eliminator fight. I think someone like Shavkat does beat Bilal because Shavkat is not afraid of anybody and he will not be walking back from Bilal. And he'll initiate the grappling as well. It's a very good submission threat. So we'll see. We'll see what's next. Even at the end when DC was announcing the winner, he said Leon's name, which was, yeah, I guess everyone thought Leon was gonna win that one, but you can't do much about it now. Fight's still not over with, and Bilal's the champion. Just gotta hold it. So yeah, overall, it wasn't an awful card, but having it finish at 6 AM. I'm actually yawning as I was saying this. Have it finish at 6 AM was a bit wild from Dana. I think he knows that, but can't do much about it now. Just gonna have to move forward and go from there. And then there was a couple crowd fights as well after the main event. You can't make the British be awake at 6 AM in Manchester for the UFC and then not get the result, especially not getting the result they want. It's not going to go down well. So yeah, 3 or 4 for me out of 5 stars. I'll give it a 3.5. The fights weren't bad. It was just the organisation of it, the timing, just everything. Something just seemed off the whole time. So I'd give it a 3 or 3.5. And that'll be it for my 3 or 3 review. We'll see you in a 3 or 4 review. We'll see you at UFC 305. And maybe I'll do some fighter showcases for it and see what is up. Maybe I'll do a fighter showcase for Bilal. Maybe at some point. Just see if I can hold someone down for a whole 5 minutes. But yeah. Thanks for stopping by. Peace.